Hey everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntax Live. How you guys doing? I see we got our usual cast of colorful characters in the comments section. Boys, try saying that 10 times fast. Holy crap. And yep, we're going to be getting to the comment sections later. However, just want to again thank everybody for being here. One of these days I'm going to have to get a better intro video than that one because that's the one that comes standard. So let's pop a top and get this started off.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Well, things are mostly nominal. Actually, I do have to apologize a little bit because out of my control over the past couple of days, I've been fighting off something that's been playing holy hell with my intestines, and that's been slowing me down really bad. Actually, at one point, I actually have it. It's right here, actually. I was trying to write a video for Veterans Day, and guys, you know I won't give you something I don't think is quality. And I knew what I wanted to say. I couldn't get it to pull from my head and down my arm to my hand so I could write it down. It was unfortunate. And
hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something is right because we have an MTF guard in the chat with a $10 super chat. And he says, I sent quite a handful. Yes, I know. I don't know which one sent through because most of them told me about an hour ago that they didn't send and that they are sending some clips are from the same battles too. Yes, they are. I did notice. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clips from you in total. And you'll be seeing them in a minute. And most everything I got from Guard. And let me finish writing that down. And I do appreciate that. No, COVID did not hurt me, Doug. Trust me, I've had it already. And when I did get it, it friggin' put me down into the floor. And it wasn't so fun. And somebody calling for Pedro. I don't know who Pedro is. Anyway, let me just jump in here. Let me get this lined up. And boom, on to the first story for the past week. And that is the finishing up of Mercy is Expensive. Now, I've actually got a couple more people asking if I can continue the story. Probably not. The views on the video were not all that great. As much as I love you guys for helping out, I have a limit on how high it has to go before I will actually go up. Not to mention, I keep trying to pull out ambush predators, and every time I do, I get sidetracked somewhere. I swear. I've got somebody just coming up behind me and sneaking something. I don't know. I don't have a button for it right here, but let's just say every time I try, I keep saying, God damn it. And it's just driving me crazy. Anyway, there really wasn't much as far as that one. So I'm going to be switching over to Help is on the way. They told us help is on the way. There was a question about the thumbnail saying how that should be the tripod for War of the Worlds. That's not tripod from War of the Worlds. That's the Muto from Godzilla, I believe. At least it looks like it to me, or somebody else ripped it off. And
what? What the fuck?
We got another $10 super chat from our wonderful big boss biker out there, Brian. And he says, great stories. Well, thank you. And like I said, I try not to make sure I don't give you guys a whole load of steam and dog shit. I will say this, some of them, I will screw up on a couple of the details just because I try to get as much out as I can. And we're going to be going over that a little bit with the next story. But there wasn't too much on the comment section on this, so don't have much to go over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. However, do you guys know what the inspiration was for that title? Actually was the inspiration for the entire story. And no joke, it is the title. It's the song Help is on the Way. It would just happen to be playing when I stopped and I was driving my dad around. We stopped and got coffee, and that was playing on the radio. And when I got back, I just listened to the song because it was kind of like an earworm in there. And I was like, you know what? This is going to work. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do. So since there wasn't many comments, we're whipping through these real fast. And the one that dropped today, officially, we can't get involved, but unofficially. Now, I can't say too much on this. Simply put, we don't do spoilers here. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, enjoy. And hopefully you're not sitting there thinking, it's a trap, because it's not. It's one that's going to make you think. I hope I got the details right. You guys in the comment section got to let me know where I screwed up. It's very important so I can make better stuff for you. And since we're not doing spoilers, I can whip through that and let me check how many people we got here. How many assholes we got here? Oh, a whole lot. Cool. On there. So since we're going to be going on to the next subject, hold on, let me move the media here. I'm going to move on to some of the actual clips here. And I hear they're dynamite.
Heresy.
Oh.
Remove this filth.
I'm sorry. I just hit the wrong button. When I said dynamite, I went to say...
Did somebody say dynamite?
Tank. 11 o'clock. Yeah. Target destroyed.
All right, on to the next subject that we got going on. And this is the big one for the week. I was going to save it till the end, but I figured, you know what, screw it. We're going to go over because I can't fully cover it. It's the game Dispatch that came out. And honestly, if you just take out the gameplay and just play the cartoons, it's actually decent. I haven't seen the last part, so I can't comment on it. However, next week, I'm going to be doing a full review, in particular, what my original predictions were and if they panned out. And also, one of the subjects for tonight is the little pieces that they put in the story that didn't add up. They lost consistency on, and it just didn't make sense. However, I will be touching on that one throughout the night simply because, shocker, it's pretty good so far. I haven't finished it yet, so we'll see. Let's see. I already talked about the Veterans Day story. I will revisit that one again now that my head's clear. I can actually do it. I was going to have one drop in for tonight, guys. I simply ran out of time because I got to sit down and write these down. I can do a few off the cuff, but they only come out to about 5 to 10 minutes at most. And I know you guys come here for longer videos, so I'm not going to bullshit you on that. So anyway, before I go on to the next subject, you know we got to see another one. I was waiting for the artillery at the end of that video when I was checking it. Hopefully, guys, let me know if the audio is not coming in.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
What that is another $10 super chat from Erica. She's being so outrageous. She came in today and she said, time for 3-day water only fast. There's a weird thing going around here as well as the rhinovirus. Be praying for you. Honestly, I don't think it's a virus. I think it's just allergies that are playing in, because it got my nephew and it got my sister for sure. She is very, very susceptible to her allergies. It is what it is. It's part of the family thing, and I just got to deal with it. It's just like if the weather goes from hot to cold or cold to hot really fast, I get a really bad headache. She is like debilitated on the, like, laying there. She can't move. It's worse. So, or should I say, but we're going to move on to the next subject, which is the video games that are coming out lately. And unfortunately, it's all bad news, and most of it is just a rehash of the same shit last week. You guys know I'm not going to rehash everything. So I will say, turns out Ubisoft is coming apart at the damn seams. They've had a lot of crashes and burns, mainly because they decided to get activists instead of engineers, which I still can't wrap my brain around that one. I'm like, if you're not going to give the customers what they want, what are you doing? At least try. It's like when they made the last like 2 or 3 Halo games. They literally went out and specifically got people who hated Halo. They hated the Master Chief and they wanted to destroy everything about it. I mean, hell, you can see between Halo Wars 1 and 2, just look at the AI. You went from a very attractive, snarky British chick to something that looks like she was pulled out of an Antifa rally. I mean, just and some androgynous thing. And it instead of focusing on the mission and the Spartans, it focused strictly on her. And I'm just nope. I kept waiting for the
Bazinga,
but it wasn't there. It just wasn't. And but what the hell? Anyways, CDPR. Apparently they're trying to actually jump on the woke wagon as well, but they're really late. Apparently they got a die-in-the-wool liberal as their CM, their content manager, who has gone in and made all the females who are supposed to look like this as the one female on the screen, how she's, proportionally right for someone who beats the crap out of people every single fucking day. You would think a woman who trains a lot would have the really strong legs. You can't really see much from the shield. And by the way, this was supposed to be a butt. Anyways, I just threw this up here just to make a point. And yes, Sniper, I did get them, and we're going to be talking about that in a second. Anyways, this is what I would expect. Now, this character in particular is supposed to be really young, so I expect them to be a little skinny. The CDPR folks want to make every single female look about as feminine as I do. No, that shit don't fly. Okay, not at all. I don't know what the hell they're doing. And it's just absolutely crazy. And of course, the games journalists are going absolutely nuts because they're trying to hold on to their phony baloney jobs. That right there, and I just got to say this, anybody who even talked to me once about getting into games journalism, all I have to say is, do you remember or know anything about Gamergate? I can't even say that more than once or twice or they'll kick this stream. However, if you look that up and find out what happened, all the credibility in that area had been lost. And the only way to get it back was to be as solid as possible and to be as neutral as possible. But of course they didn't. They didn't at all. I know, not the biggest butt on the screen, but that's the only one I can get of that character. Regardless, I kind of feel bad for these guys because all they want to do is do the job and do it well, but they can't. You got a boss, and you got to make the boss. You got to make the boss happy. I mean, it is what it is. Hold on, I got to wet my whistle. Don't worry, I'm sanitizing myself from the inside. All right, before we move on to the movies, how about a little bit of which one did we just do? Okay, 6. Okay. Ding. That right there, what you just saw, was exactly why you don't flag your weapon. And this is something straight out of CQB, close quarter battle, or CQC, like some say close quarter combat. If you go up to the doorway, you notice when you watch John Wick, he always pulls his pistol in really close, because if he sticks it out there, people are going to just like shoot his hand, or they're going to know he's there, and they're just going to wait a second until he turns the corner and pow, movie's over. So yeah, you don't want to flag yourself like that. You want, just like a sniper, you want to be back away, and you kitty corner. I don't want to say kitty corner. God dang, I just had it fall out of my head. Whatever. You pie the corner around the side. Anyway, when it comes to movies, the only one that's really making noise right now is Predator Badlands, and it is still failing badly. Honestly, I think all the predators are failing because less is more. Just like the alien, the less you knew about it, the scarier it was, the more intrigued you were. And I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're trying to give an entire backstory, an entire human-like culture to these things. I'm like, no, you stupid fuck. What are you doing? Oi. And it's just, my brain hurts. My brain just really, truly hurts on that one. Okay, on the next one, as far as movies, the Avengers Doomsday, where they're trying to bring back the guy who played Iron Man. God help us all. God help us all. I'm sorry, but turning Dr. Doom into a chick, you know what? I need that picture right now of just the guy going, why? Because questions I do have about what the fuck they're doing. It doesn't make sense. What are they doing? It blows my damn mind. It hurts me because you have a set character. You don't mess with a set character. You know what? I need to blow something up. Just keep my mind off it. You know, at first when I saw that clip, I was going to say that there's no way that gun's going to get through the armor of a Tiger tank. Then I looked at the distance and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's going through. Not much is stopping that shit at point blank like that. So anyways, one of the things the YouTube and all of them is trying to make me do, guys, is an AI thumbnail. I might just do that just to see what it's like once. I know you guys know I don't do AI here. I don't do ChatGPT. I don't do any of that bullshit. And I appreciate you guys being here because I don't do any of that bullshit. And I'm sure you're already tired of the bullshit. So there we go. All right. I knew I was going to bring this back around. So on the TV show / game Dispatch, okay, as I'm not going to review the show, I will say if one part actually brought up a very interesting area is the fact that if you watch any of it, you're going to find it has a lot of adult humor. And adult humor can only be done right in two ways. It can either be straight to the point, like if you watch Big Bang Theory, when the Sheldon character says something completely messed up, or the Raj character, he says something feminine, but he doesn't hear it. It's not meant to be that way. It just comes out that way, and everybody just kind of rolls with it. Or that's how you play it straight, or you play it subtle. And in Dispatch, there's a perfect one. You guys can look this up if you want. It's got the red muscle mommy girl, their Melatonin or whatever her name is. And she's talking about a gang, and she describes them. She's like, oh, yeah, they've been trying to finger me for years. And the guy goes, what are they trying to charge you with? She goes, that's cute. And it took me a second to be like, she wasn't talking about pointing a finger. She was talking about something else. And it's just like, chihuahua. That's just, and the thing is, when I watched that the first time, I didn't notice it at all. Somebody sent me the clip and said, do you think this is funny? And I watched the clip again. It's like, is that supposed to be, oh, son of a bitch. But then when I thought about it, I'm just chuckling. And it was done right. It was done very right. And I appreciate that when the writers, the voice actors, and everybody else puts everything towards making the joke work. And just like the straightforward from the older character goes and gives a hug, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, relax, it's a hug, not a hand job. And it's like, and again, straightforward. Boom. And they just do that right. They do the adult jokes correct. And I appreciate that very much. Unfortunately, I try to do my adult jokes, and sometimes they, crash and burn. And unfortunately, I don't have a video of crash and burn. I have no planes this week, so sorry, guys, on that. All right, let's see. All right, War Sniper. In particular, I told you I'd bring this back up. He sent me a couple of butts. Out of 2 of them, this is the only one that flew. Reason being is you can still see that she is wearing breeches. Even though I might get worried about this one, the main issue here, or on the other one, I can't even show it because you can see not a tab of fabric, not a strap, not a loop, not a wave, not a weave, not a nothing. So I'm like, dude, that literally can be considered a bare butt. That, I'm sorry, but no, it doesn't work. I mean, sure, you're going to be sitting there saying, giggity, giggity, giggity goo, stick around. And I was expecting as soon as I opened up the picture and saw this, I'd hear, but no. Anyway, I'm going to get that off the screen before I get in trouble. Anyway, like I said, guys, it's really, or if you read the description, it's really tight. No shit. That was the end of my notes for this week. There's really not much going on. Now, that's as far as the pop culture and building your own stuff. Now, I do have to say, I have a feeling next week when we go over the actual dispatch, I can already tell they threw a lot of stuff in that doesn't quite work. And it's again, I got to finish it before I say anything, or before I say anything else. But I can see that when they first started out, they had something in mind, and then I don't know, there's something off. It's just, it doesn't work. Anyway, all right, I did want to actually talk about this with the already hidden technology. I know you guys say I pretty much talk about it every week. But the fact of the matter is that not only did they take that 14-year-old genius and remove him from the public eye, they've taken the energy production guy, the one who's creating plastiline. He's basically hiding, even though that process is well known for a long time. The freakish thing is it's going to make a lot of sense, and then they won't be able to push their green whatever the fuck. Or we're going to edge here on politics, so we're not going to go too much into it. That being said, remember I told you guys about the extension of the telomeres. That shit's already been, it took less than 2 days before that was almost impossible to find again. And I'd be surprised if anybody can find it now. Because, why? Shocker, it fucking works. The same thing with stem cell research. You guys remember a few years back, like a decade or so, they were talking about stem cell. They made a joke about it on Family Guy where the guy had a freaking stroke and half his body didn't work. He walked in, they jabbed him with a needle, 15 minutes. He walked out of there. He's like, why aren't we funding this? Because it works. That's why. Pure and simple, because it works. And honestly, these guys are pissing me off. But whatever. We're going to have to keep going. Anyways, I'm going to actually scroll up here. I'm actually going to start all the way at the top this time because I did see something up here. And let's see. Where was it? Okay. As the Douglas up here saying 3i Atlas is doing weird stuff and NASA is refusing to post pictures. That is 100%, 100,000,000% true. And yes, I do have questions about 3i Atlas. I want to know what the fuck is going on. Why is it supposedly changing colors? Why is it supposedly changing its trajectory? Why is it speeding up one day and then slowing down the next? What's going on? But everyone's keeping their mouth shut. All they're doing is coming out with this basically little sound bites and 1 in a million pictures, which you're not even sure if are real. And I'm starting to wonder if it's all just clickbait. I mean, it wouldn't be clickbait if they just got their heads out of their freaking asses and let us all know what's going on. But whatever. There's Alan, Douglas, Eric's here. Hey, how you doing? Yes, you did make it in time. Okay, if you sent a video, I need to set these up about an hour ahead of time. They have to be downloaded. They have to be checked because any of them that have to be altered, I have to alter them. If they're not in my inbox an hour before we start, they're not going to be on the stream. If they do make it to my inbox, they will be on a stream, just probably not tonight. And of course, there's Guardian with his
greeting mortals and other assorted beings.
and all that fun stuff. Let's see. Yes, Chris, stomach bugs are running rampant pretty much everywhere. The main issue with the stomach bugs is that now that everybody's more inside, now that it's colder out, that's why everybody's getting it. They're just passing it because they're in closer proximity. It happens every damn year, and I swear these fucking assholes will just talk about it oh, you got to get the shot for this, the shot for that. I'm going to put a shot up your... You know what? I'm not even going to even say that. I mean, the whole thing makes me sad.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. True story.
Let's see. Doug says, when I had the... I can't say that on YouTube without getting caught. So I'll just call it the poke and smoke here. I had the nausea and extreme ejection ion in the other direction. Yeah, I didn't have in the opposite direction. I just didn't make it to the hell. At one point, I didn't make it to the parking lot, which would be embarrassing for a drill sergeant to be in front of their trainees and puking his guts out. Although I have been actually at work. Platoon! Just Ralph in the corner, come back. All right, we got work to do today. And they're just looking at me like, are you going to make it? It doesn't matter about you. Don't worry about me. My students aren't worries about me, but the PL worries about me. You don't worry about me. I worry about you. You got that? And you guys worry about each other. Although I do appreciate the fact that before the end of the day, that day, they did run over to the platoon sergeant and say that I was yakking my guts out every 30 minutes. And he literally looked at me and said, get your sick ass out of here. I was like, okay. Guard says, had the Kung flu. We'll just say that. The Kung flu a couple times. Last time I was stuffed with a wheeze for a few months. People generally thought I was dying. Yeah, well. We wouldn't have to worry about that again if they gave us the right friggin' meds, but they don't want us fixed. Chris saying, I haven't watched it yet because I'm lame. I was cooking chicken parm. Oh, dude. See, it would make my mouth water if it wasn't for the fact that I just had liver, onions, and leeks from my own garden, my own property, and with that, some green beans on the side that came out of my garden with homemade barbecue sauce that my sister made out of her own garden. So, yeah, I'm actually getting well. And yes, the liver I got because I got a deer last week. Lena says, I think I get it. Unofficially, they're soldiers for hire. Are you talking about the story? Well, not really for hire. More like once it's been proven that once a society gets to a certain point and they don't have any reason to fight amongst, well, even if you do have a point to fight amongst yourselves, a lot of times they're looking for a reason to actually fight. They need a cause. They need an actual cause. If you're looking for, soldiers for hire, soldiers of fortune, those are mercenaries for sure. War Sniper says, I wonder if the live stream will stay stable because the sun wave that will hit us maybe this evening is a C5. Dude, all you have to know is it north facing or south facing? Now, I do not have the program that links up with NASA that will actually tell you this. However, if it's north facing, you might feel a little woohoo, but you're not going to, barely the lights will even flicker. If it's south facing, then you got a problem and you might want to unplug everything. A lot of people get that confused, and all I have to say is just look at a magnet. It's the same thing with the poles. One does one thing, one does another. It's a standard duality of our universe. Hell, it's the duality of people, but we can get into that some other time. But yeah, keep us posted on that. A lot of auroras. Oh, that's not good. Actually, it depends on the color that they spit out for that one. You got to watch close. Now, I forget if it's blue, green, or red, that is the one you got to worry about. Let's see. Excuse me. Guard says, I'm still here, and the fact that I have to play in my friend's PlayStation because it has been released for Xbox yet. They've apologized that saying I'll get a port eventually. Okay. Let's see. Hey, I just got to use the jackhammer on the teeth. Oh. They're trying to pull out the teeth they're trying to pull out with Microsoft to let them get part of the Xbox. I can't imagine different thing here. Can't imagine the T-44 crew just yelling out, turn the turret. Why not? I've actually had that happen. No jokes. Live fire exercise. We're supposed to run. Well, I'll just add my hand. We're supposed to run in this direction. We're stuck because some asshole in the Humvee turret actually turned and is firing across there with a medium machine gun, a 240. And I'm literally in there. I'm screaming, 7, turn your goddamn turret. And finally I got up and I go to yell to my team leader, hey, stay here. I'm going to turn that turret. And once I tell him to turn, you go. Don't wait for me. By the time I got to him, somebody must have smacked him on the legs because he just turned 45 degrees and I'm just yelling, go, 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 God damn it. It is what it is. Okay, Guard also says, like I should not have arrived. I should have died. But I lived always and got the kill. And there's a War Sniper always talking about the butts. And I swear he loves big butts and he cannot lie. No, that doesn't sound wrong. This does. Don't worry, I'm not going to subject you guys to the whole thing. Hey, I don't mind if a girl has a little bit of extra room on the backside as long as it's not all just gravity assistedly pulling down. In other words, it can't be just fat. It's got to have some muscle in there. I mean, kind of, that's why I paid attention to the Red Devil girl on Dispatch. I mean, she just fit. And what can I say? Chris saying, I took inspiration from the Waffle House staff. Okay. Oh, speaking of restaurants, guys, I don't know if there are any veterans out there. I hope you guys took advantage of all the deals that went out. I was able to take myself and my dad, who is a Vietnam veteran himself, over to Cracker Barrel, and we ended up only having to pay for the coffee we drank, which was nice, even though it was a $4 coffee. There are endless refills, but I only had 1 cup because, honestly, I didn't want to fill up before I went to my free lunch at Olive Garden, where I paid for the drink, and it turned out it was apparently, you guys seen that 40-year-old virgin thing? It was $9 beer night, apparently. Not even kidding. 20-ounce glass of Blue Moon was $9. Just under, but still, it's crazy. Let's see. Erica says, also, today has a phrase. Oh, today's story has a phrase since I was a kid. Yep, I read that earlier, Erica. And we don't do spoilers, which I'm appreciating you're not doing one now. But right now, it is so hard for me not to do that one. Right in. Okay, Guard says, the Halo Wars 2 campaign really lost me, but the Awakening, the Nightmare DLC, which has you playing as the Banished who accidentally woke up the Flood. Because turns out High Charity wasn't completely destroyed. He'd only destroyed the Grave Mine, who was slowly rebuilding himself while hibernating. Somebody needs to nuke that shit from orbit just to be sure. And a group of Banished blow a hole right in the middle of the dome, keeping the blood contained, and they escape. And the entire campaign is like 5 hours of fighting them. That's not very long. The climax
Swing!
For the great and entire point of them actually being surprised that the Flood is still alive and how they have some prior knowledge thanks to the Covenant remnants to help. But in the end, they still had to rely on the Sentinel network because they were just simply being overwhelmed too quickly, so they couldn't fight them properly. Yeah. Yeah. And at least you use that word right properly, because there's correctly and there's properly. I got to be careful on that one, because a lot of people's like, oh, you have to drink your drink properly. You have to ride a horse properly. I'm like, no, I don't. If you want to grab that SOB by the neck and swig, then be that way. I've actually known some people say you have to grab it from the bottom, the ass end of it, and specifically to tip it. And you can only sip your beer. You can't swig your beer. And I'm like, what are you doing? But that's the proper way to fuck you. You know. But yeah, to actually do it, to be successful at those games, Guard, you're right. You have to do properly. Just like I found that old game Digger on there, Digger. It's an old 8-bit game. I find that if you do a certain sequence correctly to start off on each map, it gets unbelievably easier, or crazy. Let's see. Lena says, I heard something about his robot girlfriend on Predator. You hold on. They're going to give Predator a Xeno, a monster, a human robot girlfriend.
What? What the fuck?
I'm sorry, but if they do that, the entire series is
Game over, man. It's game over.
because that's some bullshit. Because I know where the writing staff is going to be on that. I know where the producer's mind is going to be on that. These are the same freaks that go into one of those bookstores, and there's a freaking wall of nothing but human women on monster erotica. And I'm just sitting there like, what in the ever-loving shitballs is going on there? That used to be an extremely niche thing. Now they're trying to make it mainstream. And my brain hurts. My brain seriously hurts. Oh, god damn. These people need better hobbies. Let's see. Guard says the whole point that made the Predator scary is the fact that we lose a lot, or lose a little, is that we lose a little about them in what we don't, or what we did. Oh, we know a little about them, and what we did know was that they are in Warrior, or that hunted the apex predator on every planet. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. I got it. I'm trying not to sneeze. I got itch in my nose. Okay. Now, the one thing about the Predator series is, since it's a warrior culture, one thing you wonder is, how are they reproducing? Because all you see are males. Are these like Transformers, where the spirit of Cybertron just kind of births them, or what? Because now I've seen some comics where they have a female predator, and but I still ain't stick my dick in it. And before I can say anything, it says something down here.
Great Scott!
There is something down here. It's a $5 super chat from the Guardian Sage. And he says, why is the live stream in YouTube short format? Oh, that you can actually switch between the two. It's a new function on StreamYards. I can actually put it up here. I can actually see both right now. I mean, if you're watching in YouTube short format, I can actually duck my head sideways out of the frame. But I don't know how you switch back and forth. All I know is I got on this. And actually, I can tell when people actually have that. It comes up, there's an icon on it. Now, if you guys don't like that, I won't use it again. You got to let me know. Again, I can't fix it if I don't know there's a problem. So, again, and thank you very much, Guardian. I almost forgot to put your name down. The Guardian Sage. Let me scroll up here for a second here. Okay. You know, before we do that, as I search, let me throw something on here. How about say, oh, did I do that? Yes, I did. How about this one? I believe for that one, that shot, you just want to go, and it's good. It's good. All right. Speaking before I go on, I just want to say, if you guys know where a certain person is, and I just want to say that I haven't seen him in for a while.
Quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Yeah, I've been worried about the sir. I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. Even if he just pops in and says hi, I'd like to know that he's doing okay. So, anyways. Let's see. Lena is up here saying, I did a school project on predators. I know they have a whole planet of Predator Prime. It was an anthropology class. I would have never thought science fiction and anthropology. I hated anthropology because the guy showed us, I kid you not, it was actually really fun to watch one of these guys who was unbelievably super smart. He also has a perfect visual memory. Not eidetic, but like he can see everything. He actually saw a picture. They said, what era is this skull from? He wrote it down. He got it, and he was told it was wrong. He goes, no, it's not. He pulled out the textbook. He goes, it's right here, but you said it's this. Oh, the textbook must be wrong. What the fuck, over? Gar continues. Keep in mind, there's also comics for it. They do fill in some of the plot holes in the game. I do know if you do that for Dispatch, I'm pretty sure you can find them in the game itself. Now, I actually did see two of the comics. Somebody made a short out of the second one, which was Muscle Mommy and Batman there. Turns out they were friends for a long time. They had one of the best goddamn jokes in the whole thing, where Bat Guy goes to they both go to a strip club, and Bat Guy's sitting there holding out his credit card, and there's Muscle Mommy Demon dragging him out by the scruff of the neck. He's like, I gotta finish my transaction. And she goes, no. Boners and credit cards don't mix. Guys, every guy here knows that one. Oh, shit. And it made old Demon Mommy there look a lot better, because she's watching out for her bro. But yeah, I saw the one where he lost part of his ear. Come to find out, that was the suit going mayhem or something like that. Turns out the guy's dad was a bit of an asshole, and everyone was doing these speculative, who is Shroud? And it said right there in the comics. I'm like, what the fuck, over? Let's see. Guard says, but hey, with Dispatch, they're technically getting the same people that made all the Telltale games like The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us. So we actually have people doing their job. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. And it's great. Did we just drop a bunch of people? I do have that question here, because I don't see as many folks there. And we haven't even got halfway through all the videos yet. Let's see. Lena says, did 3i Atlas explode or something? I've heard it's making large thrusting. As far as large thrust, I don't know. That's the thing. With 3i Atlas, everybody is given different things. I've heard that it's slowing down. I've heard it's speeding up. I heard it changed its direction. I heard that it's arcing towards us. I heard it reversed course and headed back to Mars. I've heard so much. I even heard this morning that there was some weird lights coming off it. Like they had like different color running lights going all the way down the son of a bitch. I don't freaking know anymore, because nobody's got any consistency. I'm just waiting for, even if not the entire rock, but parts of it to start burning up in our atmosphere, at least one or two small pieces coming down and striking so freaking hard that it causes either a huge explosion or causes a small tsunami. Now, granted, small and tsunami don't actually go together in the same picture, in the same thing. However, or I should say, but it is what it is. And hold on, I need to grab an image here. Did I get the last one? Son of a bitch. All right. I'll just do that one. Let's see. Guard says, and don't. Oh, he's continuing with dispatch here. He says, and don't just make it because some crypto prick put another zero on their paycheck for agreeing with. Yeah. That's what happens. They're making an excellent product. It's because people give a shit. War Sniper talking about Atlas. He says, I've seen the videos of. Is that supposed to be 13? I know it's I3. Atlas jumping, and while it jumped, everything on Earth that was watching it got best way to say EMP. And after everything go black, they couldn't find it. That's interesting. Probably why there's no consistency in what's going on. Guard saying, some people are saying that 3i Atlas hit another asteroid and now it's been knocked completely off course from Earth and it's heading right into the sun. I did hear about that. That again is unconfirmed. If it's only coming from one person, it's speculatory. You need it confirmation wise. However, or I should say, but if it ends up going into the sun, better for us. And what is this? What is this? I see something down here. Oh, that's right. SS Demon's here. He sends the $5 super chat. And I swear I'm going to pop my neck one of these times. He says, just popping in to say hi. Hope everybody's doing well. I have some clips I need to edit this weekend to send you in. Have a good night, everybody. I will look forward to them, Demon. And just so you guys know that everything that's sent for the week gets put into a complete folder and is actually put out on for Sunday morning for you guys to watch. Now, on that same note, I've got verification from one person so far, and hopefully I can get verification from a few more, that folks who send in the clips, you allow me to do audio adjustments. Now, on that same note, apparently, I won't say who, Guard, puts everything on their own website or their own channel. I have zero issue with you doing a cut and paste and putting your site or your channel in the description here, in the chat box. Put it up there for everybody to actually sign on and make sure they're subscribed to you. And still subscribe, because I'm still seeing that shit. It's just going crazy. Okay, did I miss where I was at? Yeah, I think I did. Okay. Should be right here. Leon says, Doctor Who is going to the Paramount, the old series, for streaming. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, they're really dying. They killed Doctor Who a long time ago, and I'm just like, what the fuck, over. Chris saying, I'm having all kinds of problems with this. Really? Because I literally watched the view count drop from like 30 some odd to like 8 in like 2 seconds. And it was weird because I know you guys didn't go anywhere. You're still on here. I don't know what's going on. And War Sniper up here saying about the lights on it, says there's green and red so far. Ooh, that's Christmassy. And I would make a weird thing about sleigh bells jingling and, rocks coming out of the sky, but that's not the way my mind works. I know people who can do that. I can't. Chris says, it looks like the night of the comet where I am. Oh, so you got a lot of green and red lights flashing in the sky? Green and red auroras, yeah. Little St. Elmo's fire for you. And, I did want to say this. One of the key ones as far as adjusting the videos, That very first one I played last week where the guy's on his bike and sliding down the rocks, I was going to put the Peter Griffin falling down the stairs. Even if it's the one where he's being all nice and British, basically. Oh my, ow, oh, that's smarts. Oh, darn. I thought that would be funny. The only one I altered was the, oh yeah. Anyways, okay. Sorry on the side thing. You're in West Virginia. Okay, so yeah, you're up in the hills. Heavy on the red already, but we'll see around 10 p.m. Okay. Yeah, you got the Smoky Mountains up that where I think, no. Is it up that far? I'm trying to remember. Lena says, in my anime that I've been watching, the Kitsune bites her two tails to reduce her bloodlust towards humans. Ouch. Sounds like a pain in the ass. Yes, but I'm bumped. Or better yet,
Bazinga.
There you go. Let's see. Doug says, wish you could have gone to a restaurant, wish I could have gone to a restaurant. I had no transportation. Oh, call the next time for veterans to go out is call the VFW guys. They'll drive you. They're gonna constantly bug you about joining, but they'll drive you. Chris says, I had a migraine from hell yesterday. I just shook mine off. I had a migraine for at least 3 days. It started back here, worked its way forward, and just sat there. For so long. And what made it worse is I had really bad insomnia, so I couldn't focus for shit. Brian said, I had a free hamburger for lunch. Well, somebody paid for it, and at least it wasn't you. So cheers. Eric talking about, I think, Dispatch here. No spoilers, please. I haven't watched it. I actually got on the Critical Drinker the other day because he was going to have a full-blown breakdown of the entire story last week. So he was able to get the entire game beforehand because somebody wanted him to review it. And I'm just like, dude, no. I even gave him, I was like, don't do spoilers. I like your show, but I will cancel my subscription to you like that if you do spoilers. I hate that. I really do. Erica with her, you know what? I still don't have a button for you, Erica. I'm just going to see you have to get the gem to say you're truly outrageous or something. Because the only ones I got for music are, being rickrolled and, of course, you're the best around! And all that. Let's see. Guard says, hoping into the very little talked about on the stream politics, but Japan is asking us for weapons because they're preparing for war against China. You'd never believe why. Because China ambassador outly stated that if he had the chance, he would behead Japan's prime minister and put a puppet leader for Japan. Oh, good God. That's the bait. They're casting a line. They're seeing if someone's going to bite, and it looks like they're going to. And yeah, you're right. The prime minister basically told him to go fuck himself. And of course, right behind, try it, bitch. And of course, the leader is Chi-Ching. Bing! That's his first name. Bing! And if you guys know the old SNL, you know what I'm talking about. Bing! Which, when you're sitting in a fast food place and somebody makes the joke, go bing, and a friggin' 5-year-old all of a sudden goes bing way off in the background, you can't stop laughing. But yeah, why they're doing this is really simple. Communist governments cannot survive without war. When they're at peace, they're basically late stage Rome where they're trying to stab each other in the back. You literally have to watch your back and wear body armor everywhere you go because everybody wants to off you. If they're at war, they can justify how much of an asshole they're being. Pure and simple. Lena says that my deepest respect to the guy who made his airsoft rifle make an ooh sound when shooting for YouTube videos. I have not seen it at all. I have not seen that one time. I'm going to have to take your word for it. Erica, being so outrageous, says she can't go to many restaurants. Denny's and Cracker Barrel use soy-less. Okay, I can't even pronounce that. For their pancake mix. Really, I didn't know that. Maybe that's why it was screwing up my stomach. I try to stay away from soy. Kind of hard to have soy in this, beer. I know usually I don't drink with you guys, but hey, I'm drinking with you tonight. Hopefully it'll help me sleep. And I didn't know they had soy in their stuff. I thought it was just buttermilk. Actually, that's why one of the reasons I got away from Bisquick. They started using the baking powder with aluminum in it, and everything we had in that box tasted like metal. I'm just like, nope. If I want to eat aluminum, I'd eat a car rim. Let's see. Chris says, I was warned against online shopping today. Apparently, online shopping is like a gateway drug for feet pics. I'm not sure how that works. But I thought I'd share. I'm glad you shared because I don't do online shopping really. Unless I'm absolutely stuck. I never do online shopping. Hell, I actually had to ask my brother's wife to go online and get me a new phone case because I can't get on Amazon. Oh, it is south facing. Yay! Okay, let's hope it doesn't hit us directly, or else we're going to have the new Carrington event. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, maybe it'll hit on the other side of the planet. Make everybody like Russia and China take a breath. Although if it did shut down the electricity, we'll say anywhere from Poland through Japan, someone's gonna die in bad ways because those winters are no freaking joke and most people don't have wood stoves anymore. And not to mention, without food coming in, they're screwed. They're really totally screwed. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of those folks are some hard motherfuckers, but yeesh. Let's see. Chris says, if the predator was truly hunting the apex predator of Earth, they would be hunting mosquitoes. That's actually true. Mosquitoes kill more people than almost any... No. Let me phrase this right. Than all other animals combined. Almost. It's crazy. Oddly enough, I think number 4 on that list is bees as far as number 1. You would think it'd be something bigger, but it's not. Lee says, that explains why it was weird for me to start with before finding the normal stream of your live. Okay. Lee says, director thought it'd be fun for the Predator to have Wayland Yutani android. I don't know who or what that is. And Guard saying, speaking of butts, I sent some jumbo size one. Yes, they are wearing clothes, and they're more than enough clothing that they should be safe. Although 2 of them were wearing skin tight suits, so I would probably flash those for like a couple seconds if we use them next on the stream. Okay, the rule is, it doesn't matter how big, how shapely, how toned, or whatever. It must have some sort of clothing. I can actually put something on here, like say, well, hell, I'll just throw this one back on. This works because you can tell there is still some sort of clothing. I can't get dinged for this. Somebody could, bitch and moan, but still, you can tell there's fabric. If it appears, even if it's not supposed to, even if it's just suggesting there is no fabric on them at all, then I cannot use it. Pure and simple. That is just the rules I got to go by. I don't have a choice on that one. That's YouTube rules. All right. I need a quick break, so I'm going to throw... No, wait. Did we see this one? Yes, we did see this one. How about this one? Here I was. While that was playing, I was trying to get something in here, but unfortunately, it wasn't work. Oh, yeah. Another one worked, but not the one I wanted. That's freaking nice. Anyway, just trying to grab some real quick. I'm going to go back to the comment section here. Slide on up there because it just keeps moving and moving and moving. Let's see. Gart says, and when I say huge, I mean titanic butts. Like the lady got an ass so fat it takes up 2 cushions on the couch. I've actually been sitting on a bus, no joke. This woman so large with her hind end sat down, and I kept saying, ma'am, please get off me. I'm literally squished up like this. Ma'am, could you please get off me? I'm not taking up that much room. And there was some woman behind tried to get off. It's like, ma'am, could you get the hell out of the way? She's like, this man won't let me move over. I'm like, I can't move any further. It's like, what the fuck? It's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Garth says, sending them in the Discord, I was looking for huge butts for sin, and they popped up, and I said, I'm going to test the waters. Well, it looks like I got to follow the Discord a little closer. And yes, I do have to make a new Discord server. Guys, when I do that, I will make sure I let you guys know exactly how that goes. Oh, see, Garth says, let me know if I stepped into extreme deep end. I will let you know. Guard talking about the predators here. No, they do have females of their species in the comics, although I don't really consider some of the books for it to be canon. Yep. And that's one of the key things there. I mean, hell, even some of the comics of Halo have female elites on there, whatever the hell is Sundrani, whatever, Sundrop, whatever the fuck their name's supposed to be. Yeah, they do have females. You do hear one talk in one of the Halo games, but that's it. They don't actually, I don't know if you ever actually see one in the games. Supposedly, they're a lot smaller and very, very lean in comparison to the combat-focused elite guys. I don't know. I've only seen some fan art, and honestly, that fan art was very... what's the word I'm looking for? Voluptuous. Yes. A little too much. Let's see. Lena says, have you seen the new anime about 2 girls traveling on a bike after the apocalypse? No, I have not. I have not. I don't get a chance to watch those guys. I just don't. I would like to. I am not up on any of the animes at all. The ones I wanted to see, I haven't been able to watch them. It's just, it is what it is. Gart says, because in some of the patriarchal society and in others are matriarchal societies, talking predators, in some books, they're built just like the men, just with tits. In others, they're bigger and stronger. Well, yeah. The only one I consider canon is a big mama. Oh, mama. You know, I'm going to have to get one. You know, I'm going to write that down. Johnny Bravo soundboard. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. Johnny Bravo. Where he calls up. Hey, 911, there's a handsome man in my house. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's just me. Yeah. Let's see. She just was specifically bred from the tribe known for their I'm going to mispronounce this. Gigantism, which is why she's like 3 feet taller than a normal predator. Because when it showed her with other members of her tribe, she was either slightly shorter or the same height as them, and they were all 3 to 5 feet taller than normal predators. I could see that selective breeding, especially in a warrior society like that. They probably think the bigger the better. However, that's not always the case, especially when you're trying to build a ship. That means you have to build everything larger to accommodate the larger person. I only touch on that a few times in my writing. If we were to get in, say, something designed for the Greys, we'd be hunched over. Or if something like an Andorian tried to get in with, or not Andorian, and God damn it. I had Andorians from Star Trek. It's another one. It sounds pretty close. They're supposedly 9 feet tall. They'd have to hunch over. Eric saying, I'm still here, Jeffy, or is it Jeffafa? Which I don't know if I should get something for Peanut on here. I'm sure I'm going to run out of buttons. I only got two open ones right now. Eventually, I'm going to be sitting there going,
God fucking damn it!
where do I have another button? Let's see. Lee is up here saying, red and green lights is the robotic Santa from Futurama instead of a comet. Okay. See, I wouldn't know that because I don't watch Futurama. Honestly, that is one of the most depressing fucking shows I've ever seen in my life. Every single time I turn it on, it's like the one I watched the one where they find what was left of his dog from 1,000 years ago. Dude, if that doesn't make you want to friggin' just drink until your memory wipes clean. The only episode I think worth watching in Futurama is the Snoo Snoo episode. Death by Snoo Snoo. Anyways, Garth says that was a 1,000-meter shot too. Oh yeah, touchdown! Now that's why the hash marks are in there actually, and that actually used to drive people absolutely crazy when I played BattleTech and Mech Warrior when they had the long tom artillery because I knew exactly the max range of the thing. So I'd actually get that line up, get a distance to target, line it up, and just fire it just right, and I'd drop it right on their face. And I actually knew somebody, he liked to ambush, but somebody had shown that he's hiding behind a building. So I lined it up, so I'm shooting just on the other side of the building, and I actually demolished the entire left side of his mech. It was just gone. And he fell off. He's like, I just hear him screaming, you motherfucker! Let's see. Anyways, War Sniper says, I even saw a video of 3i Atlas talking in binary to give us coordinates that they are next to Earth, like warp coordinates. Very stable communication. That's interesting. I have not seen any of that. But I've been kind of out of the loop for a couple days. Mainly because helping family, and hell, I got to stop at around 10:30 tomorrow. I got to run over, help a friend get a whole bunch of bales out of their loft. Guard says, well, I lost completely and total connection to the entire stream for like a minute or so. Yeah, I saw that. It's like everybody all of a sudden left. I don't know what's going on. There's a little bit of a storm going on here, but it's just a little snow and a little bit of wind. If that happens again, I might just cut the stream because that's you guys know I don't like doing that. Leonid's up here. I watched an unhinged version of Back to the Future. It was a parody. Yeah, it's called Rick and Morty, or Ren and Stimpy, or Abbott and Costello, or Starsky and Hutch, or some shit like that. Unfortunately, I can't watch Rick and Morty because one of the producers he's just an evil person, and it's enough to, and because the fact they didn't fire the guy instantly was enough for me to go, nope, I'm done. Let's see. Eric says, and when he, the Uwu gun. He says, when he reloaded the airsoft gun, it made the sound. Uwu. Or, hold on.
Uwu?
Yeah. Sorry, I tried to do it in the Minions voice and I have now been fined 1 homo suspicion point for a violation of the Man Code Morality Statute. Lena says, from now on, I always see Rick and Morty as Doc and Marty. No, to me, Doc and Marty's always going to be Doc and Marty, but I mean, different generations on that. So, see, Guard says, oh, sure, go ahead, Sin. If you want to make audio adjustments, any of the clips I send, like memes, or maybe your own breakdown, go ahead. Okay. Part of this channel might turn into that. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't take too long. Actually, the hardest part of doing all that is finding the right sound effect. Like when I went to find and got this one.
Did somebody say dynamite? No!
I just wanted the one that he said, did somebody say bomb? Or did somebody say bang? I wanted that one, not dynamite. And this is literally the only one they had. I went over like 20 different sites and almost fricasseed my computer trying to find it. So anyways, Lena says, Wayland Yutani is a corporation in Alien movies. The new Predator probably used a connection to Alien versus Predator movie. Alien movies are famous for having androids. That is absolutely true. And I do got to give the first one from the original Alien movie. The guy did an exceptional job, especially when he did the whole knife thing, because what's this guy who said,
Game over, man. It's game over.
he didn't know they were going to do that. So that look on his face of, like scared, like he's going to get stabbed in the finger. That was all true. And that made the scene, the real reaction. You know, sometimes you just got to get a real reaction, even though I despise the movie. Well, I shouldn't say the movie, the actor who played Django Unchained. I appreciate a shitty actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, when he busted his hand open and everyone see all the blood coming out and they're just like, oh shit, but he kept doing the scene. I appreciate that. That's somebody who's dedicated to their craft, and I can't fault somebody for that. So anyway, I wonder if this is dynamite.
Did somebody say dynamite? No!
Bullseye. But let's get back to what we were doing. This is the only bare butt I can actually show because it's all CGI and obviously not real. Gart says, oh, geez, that Call of Duty video I made, God knows how long ago. It doesn't even have audio, and the video didn't even come out how I thought it would because it was all laggy when okay, well, again, I can work with some of this stuff. All I have to do, honestly, my editing software isn't too bad. It's just a lot of stuff I got to do manually. But let's see. Guard saying the Northern Lights have stretched all the way down to Puerto Rico. I've seen a couple pictures from it in some of my news accounts on Instagram. Oh, that's what worries me about that is every time we see the Northern Lights, that means the magnetosphere is stressed very highly. Because the fact that the reason why they're Northern Lights is, as you guys know, the magnetic poles are what keeps basically a big donut dome of magnetic shielding around our planet. Well, as the magnetic is hit, it actually flows into the planet, which causes the lights for northern and southern lights. But too much, and just like a plasma ball, it just kind of spreads out more and more and more and more and more. The thing is, I worry because I've heard speculation when the northern and southern lights actually touch, the magnetosphere might completely fail because it simply burns like a freaking fuse. It would rebuild fairly quick, but you don't want to be outside when that shit happens. Lena says, one of the girls in the Apocalypse anime is an android with a laser gun. Laser gun built in the arm or just standard bang bang? Let's see. Chris says, I heard 3i Atlas was my dad finally coming back after all these years with the milk.
Bazinga!
Ay, Chihuahua, man. Really? That's just... I got nothing on that one. All right, I gotta check something. One quick thing. I might not have. Oh yeah, okay. We're actually running really fast out of here, guys, because again, I didn't have a lot to go over, mainly because I have to wait until next week until I can go over all the different things with dispatch, and I will break it down as much as I can. However, I will say this is there are some I already seen one or two that are gonna make you go, oh man, you kind of ruined a point for me. I'm not. It's still worth playing. Everybody's saying the same thing. It's still worth playing. Let's see. Eric says the reloaded sound was the morning gasp. Leah says the airsoft gun also makes a second horny sound when reloading. I was actually tempted of putting one on here. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Wow. I wrote down on the soundboard, but I was writing in cursive, and I wrote so fast I don't even know what the hell I wrote. Haha. Anyway, I'm gonna write a moan. Maybe I'll get an adult sound of, or something like that, just to be on there, because I have a whole line of like 5 or 6 things like giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around. And of course, everyone knows. But I'd like to get something else, not just run the same ones over and over again. See, Erica says, Chris, that's funny as long as it's a joke and very dark if it did happen. Yeah. Says his father passed in 2013. Oh, dude, here's to him. I don't know if that happens to my dad. I'm probably going to lose it for a while. And you'll know because you guys probably won't hear from me for 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Douglas. When my dad had his, I freaked the fuck out because I didn't know what to do. I only knew of like 1 or 2 things. And one of them is actually you grab the arms and you flex them trying to get the blood to move. And hopefully that'll dislodge whatever the hell's going on. It's a good thing my sister was here because she knew everything on that. Yeah, you're right, Chris. You do have to make sure. It's just like the guy in Dispatch, the very first episode there. We laugh, we joke, we suppress our trauma. Why do you think military guys have such dark senses of humor? Because you have to. See, Lena says, actually, the channel that makes unhinged YouTube videos is famous for the vehicle violence. I really like Unhinged Polar Express with Tom Hanks, now with parts 1 and 2. I'm scared now. But I might just watch it anyway. Those weren't very good. Here, let's throw this one on. Okay, that's good enough. That's coverage, but it's there. Warsniper says, I heard that the Arctic part is an Onos layer, has the hole in it, and in some other places. It does. But the you know what? I have trouble fully explaining it because sometimes I get the verbiage messed up. So I'm gonna throw, where is it? This one. All right. Oh, that's still on. Okay. Come off. Okay. Lena says laser gun is built into her arm. So basically she's Cyborg or Mega Man. Okay, why not? Oh, dude, this has got dark. Douglas here saying, I have a hard time laughing now. I lost a son in 87 to SIDS and my dad in 88. Oh, dude. The pain is gone, but I focus on my grandson now. Dude. Nobody needs to go through that. Oof. I need a drink. Everybody, if you got a drink, raise them up to your mental health there, Doug, and to the other two, good luck on your next assignment. Ouch. That was really harsh. That was really, really harsh. And since that's the case, well, unfortunately, I don't have anything longer than about 30 seconds. So hopefully, you know what? Do I have any other thing? No, I don't. hopefully on this video, it's not.
It's a trap.
It's another long shot. You like posting up there, don't you? All right. Anyway, I will say with that shot, one of the things you got to remember, if you are playing those games, especially War Thunder like that, if you're going to make a long shot, look at the direction someone's going, aim at the nose so that by the time the shot gets there, it actually hits. It looks like someone, guard, actually got that down to a science. It's one of the things that a lot of the fighter pilots had to learn by going out and skeet shooting. And that's one of the reasons why our pilots were so good, is because we actually taught our pilots how to do that, and the Japanese and German pilots didn't. Well, I take it back. The Japanese pilots didn't. The German pilots did, but as they started losing pilots and not replacing them, they tried to rush people through training, and yeah, that turned out bad. Guardian here with, you know what, let me find a good one here.
You have been fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
I wonder how many people here recognize that quote in a parody it comes from. Yeah, little Demolition Man. Yeah, he got it. Chris got it right as I was saying it. This came across here. Guard saying, I don't have the clip because it was months before I started sending videos to you. Hold on. But I was pretty much scaring the hell out of the enemy team with a suit 100. Okay. In the game, I have the ability to put bastards on the tank, so I can consider it to be extremely scummy tactic, so I don't really do it. But I did it only a few times in the SU-100. And that's simply because it's built like a semi-truck. Like you'll get spotted from a halfway across the map, kind of big. And in one of the maps, it was a winter map. Hold on, this thing is slipping so fast though. I had the perfect winter camo, and I was sniping the enemies from the tree line like a sneaky little bastard. No, like you're doing it right, because all the time in that situation, you have to be very, very sneaky. And I still remember surprising the crap out of my commander by saying that. It's like, hey, where is he? It was right next to you, sir. Ah, where'd you come from? I am very, very sneaky, sir. And I just walked onto the sand table, and he's like, oh my God, that was funny. Let's see. Lena says, I knew that classless anime is going to become lazy. Not only our MC knows how to do regular skills, but also started to learn magic. A lot of these MCs, they basically turn into God. And I'm sorry, but no. Just no on so many levels. Just what are they thinking? Seriously, what are they thinking? And I know where they get this from, because one of the first ones, they got Sword Art Online, where the guy he walked in as a administrator, so he basically designed his own character to be unkillable. And then you got Dragon's Balls, where as long as the guy can scream, you can't stop him, you can't kill him. And if you do kill him, he comes back. I mean, it's crazy. And they're doing this a lot with the isekais too. Oddly enough, the best one, and unfortunately, like I said, I don't get to watch him, was the one where the guy is a chef. And he's got the big, I guess it's supposed to be a Fenrir, even though it looks like some sort of collie, a giant collie. And now he's got this little slime bucket with him. And he's got a little baby dragon that follows him around too. Now, whatever. I hear nothing but good things about that anime. And I saw the first season. I guess the second season's currently out. It's just really good. So anyway, Guard says, a sneaky semi-truck sized bastard to be correct, and I'm scared the hell out of his tiger so badly. He said we got some Vietnam shit happening here. Haha, pretty much. Let's see. Leonid says, in the monster anime, Kitsune is my favorite character because her fox form, like from Nightmare, her eyes are like laser pointers. Boy, she'll kill you with a look, won't she? But she's always a woman to me. Guard also says, yeah, I know that guy with the AK you're talking about. And it made the uwu sound when he fired it, when he reloaded it in a full-blown anime girl moan. Oi. Chris saying he's got to run. Night, everybody. Actually, we are running very short, so I hope you guys don't mind. I want to try something. And what I'm going to try is I'm going to see if I can't set up to run 2 clips back to back. So just bear with me. All right. Unfortunately, it seemed like it worked. It actually didn't work out at all. It jumped on the last few seconds, which is unfortunate. I'm sitting here screaming,
God damn it!
all the time. And, you know, I don't want to sit here and play with the buttons too much, or else.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
That will be bad. And then, you know, everybody keeps saying how it keeps dropping off. So I don't want to be sitting here saying also.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
So, since I look around and I don't see too many folks still here, I'm just going to call it for tonight. Going to be a short one tonight, folks. And hopefully you enjoyed yourself. I look forward to next week when we have more videos and more things to talk about. And hopefully I'll have more on the screen. I was looking into the backdrop you guys are talking about, and I need an actual like green screen behind me for that to work. Maybe I can find something else. Anyway, safety brief. You guys know if you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to beat their ass. And if the cops give you shit, tell them I told you to. And you know what? They can contact me, and I'll just tell them the same thing. I'll even start by answering the phone. Yes, this is Drill Sergeant, and see how they change their tune. Also, if your little soldier's going to the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Also, again, it is getting to be wintertime, guys. Be careful of black ice. It is getting that time of year where you cannot see it. Oh, you want me to get that one? Okay. Cartman going home. Okay. That one shouldn't be too hard to find. I'm pretty sure I can get that. There's a few of them I couldn't get. Let's see. Aside from that, guys, again, guys and girl who are still here, because I think Erica's still here. Unfortunately, we didn't see anybody. I didn't see the Sir. I didn't see Ava. I didn't see any of those. So hopefully they will be here next week. And hopefully all of you will also be here next week. If you have any other story ideas, if you have videos to send, if you have pictures to send, anything like that, there is an email down below in the Meat Gazer box. Aside from that, this is going to be your host, Syntax, and I'm signing off.
Game over, man.